So I had a couple of amazing starts with the Oloro deck that I just had to share. Um, this here is the list. I'll bring it up at the end as well. Um, Very similar to a build that Brian Weissman's using. A few slight changes. I run Sculpting Steel and Staff and In, where he runs the blue, white, and blue-black Talisman. I run Disenchant, where he's got the Azorius Signet, and I run Seal of Cleansing, where he's got Oblivion Ring. I think otherwise we're pretty much the same, maybe a land different. I think he might have the Azorius land or some of the guild gates I don't have, but essentially same deck. So anyway, here is my first crazy start, and I think this game will glitch out, but you'll get the gist of it anyway. I'm going second, but I've got this delicious hand with 0 lands in it whatsoever, and it's a total keeper. So my opponent goes first. He's playing Dosan, the Falling Leaf, so I guess it's a decent anti-counterspell card. I would play this probably in a deck like the green-white legend Gerard, who taps to go get legends. Seems like a really good card to have as one of your tricks that you can go fetch up. Not so sure I would play him as a commander. In fact, I'm sure I wouldn't. Anyway, so first turn, Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Worn Power Stone, go. My opponent gets a second turn Lightning Greaves, which means that if this thing gets down, probably going to have a tough time removing it, although certainly not an impossible one. And I draw a land. Ooh, how lucky. So Coalition Relic comes down, Trinket Mage comes down, and I fetch. What do you get with Trinket Mage at this point? I mean, there's no Soul Ring or Mana Crypt to get. Do you get top? Maybe. But I decide what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Mox Opal. Let's play Mox, and then I debate whether or not I'm going to Imperial Seal, copy Artifact, say one of these cards, or hold up Memory Lapse for Dosen next turn. But I decide ultimately that Imperial Seal is the way to go. So I cast a Seal and say go. Opponent plays Dosen, puts his boots on, and says done as we anticipated, and I draw Staff of Nin. So down comes Staff and copy Artifact. So I've got double Staff, and all I need to do is either kill Lightning Greaves and Dosen will die, or just chill out and win with superior cards, even though Dosen's shutting off my counters. Eventually I'll find, Cryptic Command or whatever to get rid of that. And also, I've got the situation where anything he plays that has 2 toughness or less is dead before he can put Greaves on it. Let's pass for the turn. He gets Kadama's Reach. I can't lapse that, although I would, to stall it out. Charge Relic and double shoot him. Draw 2 cards for the turn, and now we glitch. So what I actually drew was Strip Mine, Dark Tutelage, and a card that doesn't matter. So for this turn, with the amount of mana I've got, I'm able to play Oloro, Dark Tutelage, you can see the black and 2, and Strip Mine one of his lands and say go. So by the end of this turn, on the next turn, I'm going to draw 1 for Oloro, 1 for Tutelage, 1 for Staff, and 1 for my turn. 5 cards per turn. So I end the turn, and you're just going to have to take my word for it. Next turn he plays Primal Command and puts the real Staff on top, not the clone. I just stack Dark Tutelage in my draw effects so that I draw before Dark Tutelage procs. That way I don't Tutelage and take 6 points of damage. And drawing 4 cards next turn, I find myself a Winter Orb. Recast Staff, drop the Orb on his completely tapped board, and at that point, it being turn 4, he gives up. Crazy to imagine that all this is in play and this isn't even turn 4, but yeah, turn 4 happens and the game ends. So that was a pretty crazy draw, and I thought, okay, well, that's like your once every blue moon hand, not too common, right? So then I go ahead and play a new game against a different buddy, Kalen, and here's how it goes down. Check this opener out. Okay, so it's not on the same level of sickness, but it's definitely pretty sick. And what's nice about this hand is it's really good against Arbiter. I'll be able to develop before Arbiter can kill me. The only way my opponent's going to really hurt me here is if I play this and play a Soul Ring, and then my opponent strip mines my land or wastelands it, and I don't draw mana to go with it, then I could be in trouble. But outside of that remote possibility, this is a killer hand, right? Well, it gets even better. So he plays first turn Chrome. And it's so funny because I have these bomb hands and I'm going second both games and completely owning my opponent. So first turn I fetch Underground Soul Ring and say go. He gets down Chalice. And turn 2 I get Workshop off the top. How sick. God, I love Workshop draws. So the trick with Workshop is if I cast like say I tap Shop Soul Ring and cast Strand Dynamo, there's a weird glitch with Magic Online where sometimes it will prioritize Workshop mana to stay in the pool, and then I won't be able to spend it unless I spend it on an artifact. So the trick with it is you want to so watch, instead of the way you do it is you click the card you want to cast, then you add the Workshop mana to your pool, drain all that out, and then click the other mana that you're going to spend. So anyway, Thran Dynamo comes down, Guild Lotus comes down, and I thought about going ahead and fabricating for what I want now, but let's not get too crazy. That mana leak I drew last turn is assures this game is won. So my opponent goes for not Grand Arbiter and a Scroll Rack. I just let him have all that. On my turn, I fetch. What do you get? Do we get Staff and In? Or do we get something else? Oh, we definitely get something else because Will of Lost Dreams will get her done. And so as you can see, it's asked me for the mana. I already clicked well, so I'm going to drain the 3 and then pay 1 with Thran, leaving me with exactly 2 mana plus 5 makes Mind Twist for 4. This is like that whole like Neo asking for a phone call saying, and the agent telling him what good is a phone without a mouth? Well, what good is a scroll rack without a hand? Not very. And the crazy thing is this isn't even maximum disgustingness, because I could have cloned the Gilded Lotus, had more mana this turn, and then Mystical Tutored for additional copy effects to copy the Well of Lost Dreams. Although, this was good enough. So, a couple of really sick, awesome hands. Thought it'd be really fun. But yeah, my opponent gives up in the face of this. Doesn't even bother trying to win with Grand Arbiter. And I hope you enjoyed those. Hopefully there is at least as much fun to watch as they were to play, because they were definitely a good time. Again, here's the deck list, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.